Jimmy Kimmel, as he usually does, humorously mocked the ex-president for dozing off on the opening day of his trial. Kimmel cleverly turned one of Donald Trump's typical criticisms of President Joe Biden against Trump himself, as many witnesses observed the former president nodding off during the start of his legal proceedings.
If Biden is Sleepy Joe, I guess that makes you Dozo the Clown.
Trump frequently uses the nickname Sleepy Joe when referring to Biden, and his media allies on the right, like Sean Hannity, have echoed this derogatory label.
But not old Donnie Appleseed.
Kimmel did manage to find a silver lining.
Either way, it's nice to see even Donald Trump is exhausted by Donald Trump.
Kimmel joked that after the court clerk announced the trial, there was
the people of the state of New York versus Donald J. Trump, followed by 15 minutes of thunderous applause. There's a gag order on Trump. He's not allowed to make inflammatory statements.
Later, he brought up the judge's order to keep quiet about Trump's case, which is just one of many orders Trump has received in recent years. He noted that Trump has unsurprisingly continued to ignore this order, even as recently as this morning before the trial.
The trial is expected to last 6 weeks or until the courtroom sketch artist runs out of orange, whichever comes first. Because it's a criminal trial, Trump's required to be in court every day.
Prior to discussing the potential repercussions of compelling Trump to attend the trial for 4 days every week, let us delve into how this could greatly impact his mental state.
It's like making an 8-year-old that go to 6 weeks of church. So of course he's trying every way he can to get out of it.
Let's discuss the interpretation of Jimmy's intentions when Trump dozed off during court. Trump's campaign strongly denied the allegations that he had nodded off during the initial day of his historic criminal trial in New York, dismissing the claims as completely false news. Court reporters present in the courtroom observed moments where Trump appeared to struggle to remain awake, with some even suggesting that he had fallen asleep. This observation triggered a wave of nicknames and jokes on social media. However, the campaign, in a statement provided to The Independent after the trial's conclusion, asserted that this is entirely false news from journalists who were not even present in the courtroom. The jury selection for Trump's trial, where he faces 34 felony charges related to concealing hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels by falsifying business records, has begun. It is alleged that he paid Daniels $130,000 to keep quiet about a past affair dating back to 2006. Despite pleading not guilty to all charges, this trial marks the first time a sitting or former president has faced criminal prosecution.
Just gotten our first courtroom sketch of the former president inside that New York City courtroom where his lawyers, prosecutors are currently arguing over what evidence and which witnesses can be put in front of a jury. We expect jury selection, what's called voir dire.
With a presidential campaign to balance, 4 criminal cases to defend against, the management of his Truth Socialist account, and the oversight of matters at Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump has a multitude of responsibilities on his plate. Despite his admission of only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep per night, it was inevitable that he would eventually doze off at an inconvenient time. Today, that happened in a Manhattan courtroom during the first day of his hush money trial. When speaking to CNN's Jake Tapper later, she mentioned that even though the Trump campaign vehemently denied the claims of him falling asleep, social media users were quick to seize upon the reports and gave him a new nickname, Sleepy Dawn. However, President Joe Biden and his campaign wasted no time in using this opportunity to mock Trump. This is particularly noteworthy considering Trump's habit of referring to Biden as Sleepy Joe during his own campaign events.
Donald Trump has been very engaged and paying attention. I've seen that from my vantage point, he's been biting his lower lip at times. He was talking to his attorney, passing a note to him at one point, and leaning forward to look at the screen in front of him. And on that screen,
the president's staff reposted a video featuring CNN's Maggie Haberman discussing Trump's supposed dozing off during jury selection. Haberman mentioned that his head would droop, he didn't acknowledge a note from his lawyer, and his jaw kept falling onto his chest while his mouth appeared to go slack. In response, the president's team wrote a comment. On the other hand, the Biden-Harris campaign shared a meme that playfully mocked Trump's passionate late-night post on Truth Social, implying that he was nodding off on such an important day. However, Biden himself did not mention the incident on his primary social media account.
Donald Trump just arrived at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan for the start of his criminal trial here in New York City. Trump is charged with 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, which include allegedly concealing a hush payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels.
In Monday's court proceedings, President Trump responded with a simple yes to Justice Juan Mahn's questions regarding courtroom conduct. However, outside the courtroom, he strongly criticized the trial, calling it nonsense and an attack on America. His public statements regarding the case sparked a lengthy debate among the prosecutors. They argued that some of Trump's posts on his social media platform, Truth Social, violated a gag order imposed by Justice Mahn. This order prohibited Trump from making any public remarks about the individuals involved in the case, including potential witnesses. As a result of Trump's social media attacks, the gag order was expanded to include the relatives of those connected to the case. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office then requested Justice Mahon to impose a $33,000 fine on Trump for 3 separate posts. One of these posts, made on a Saturday, referred to Trump's former lawyer and upcoming trial witness, Michael Cohen, as a disgraced attorney and felon. Trump's presence in courtrooms, whether in criminal or civil cases, has been characterized by moments of intense emotion. In a defamation case filed by Eugene Carroll, Trump even caused a scene during closing arguments, at one point leaving the courtroom. Additionally, he has been reprimanded by a judge in another instance. Trump, in a recent trial in Manhattan, encountered the commencement of his criminal proceedings. The allegations against him involve the fabrication of business documents in connection to payments made to his former attorney, Michael Cohen, as hush money for Stormy Daniels, an adult film actress, right before the 2016 election.
A lot of the questions right now have been around Michael Cohen. He is a central witness in this investigation. He's going to be one of the prosecution's key witnesses because he was involved in structuring these deals, and he was also the person who was repaid the deals. And that is where this alleged crime took place, in how Cohen was reimbursed, how that was documented on the corporate books.
The trial begins with the crucial task of selecting the jury. Judge Juan Moran is expected to take about a week to carefully choose 12 main jurors and 6 backups. These jurors will have the important responsibility of considering the charges against Trump. To ensure fairness, potential jurors were required to fill out a detailed questionnaire. The purpose of this questionnaire was to uncover any biases they may have and assess their ability to adhere to the trial's guidelines. Trump maintains his innocence and denies all allegations of an affair with Daniels. In order to maintain courtroom decorum, Judge Moran warned Trump that if he failed to attend or cause disruptions during the trial, he could be arrested. This warning came after Trump's legal team informed Judge Moran of his desire to be present for jury selection and witness examinations. Furthermore, prosecutors requested that Judge Moran hold Trump in contempt for violating a gag order. They claimed that Trump's social media posts attacking potential jurors, witnesses, and court staff and their families were a breach of the order. Judge Moran has scheduled a hearing to address this request for contempt.
I was looking forward for years to have graduation with his mother and father there. And it looks like the judges are going to allow me to escape this scam. It's a scam trial. If you read all of the legal pundits, all of the legal scholars today, there's not one that I see that said this is a case that should be brought or tried. It's a scam.
The judge has set a hearing date for April 24th to discuss the matter. During the morning session, the judge focused on determining which evidence can be used in court. The defense and prosecution had a debate about whether leaked audio from 2016, featuring Trump making controversial remarks about women, should be allowed. This audio clip was taken from the TV show Access Hollywood, where Trump talked about grabbing women by their genitals. The prosecution wanted to introduce an email exchange between Trump campaign officials and a Washington Post reporter who broke the Access Hollywood story. This exchange included a transcript of the tape in question. Despite the lively atmosphere outside the courthouse, the judge made an important decision regarding the evidence. The judge ruled against playing the audio for the jurors, but allowed prosecutors to mention Trump's remarks from the tape. Meanwhile, outside the court, there were various reactions to the proceedings. Some people cheered for Trump enthusiastically, while others expressed their desire for a conviction through banners and signs. This trial, which involves hush money, is just one of the 4 legal battles that Trump is currently involved in. The hush money trial might be the only one to reach a verdict before the 2024 presidential election, where Trump is representing. In the event that the Republicans are found guilty, they may confront Joe Biden, the current Democrat in office. It is worth noting that if Trump were to be convicted, he would be the initial nominee from a significant political party to seek the presidency as a felon. Surprisingly, there is no legislation barring him from doing so. We would love to hear your opinions on this matter, so please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Additionally, remember to subscribe to our channel to remain informed about Trump's legal disputes and upcoming elections. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.
Thank you.